Call Loyam, Wahawa, Layahawa, Ba'asham Yahweh Ba'asham, Wahakwadash. The abundance to the elder apostles, a great millstone who rule well and who have taught us this truth. Honors and salutations to you fellow laborers doing the work of truth and sincerity. Also, I want to say shalom to the few Akwaf that believe, listen, and learn. This is a short lesson about tares in the wheat. I just went to Google and I thought about going to this subject matter because the tares in the wheat plainly is explained by Yahweh Shai, and that's found in the book of Matthew 13th chapter. And the tares are the children of the wicked one, all right, and the wheat are the children of the kingdom, which are the children of Israel by default. All right, the seed of the power of Israel. So this is actually an example of the tares in the wheat, and through hardcore slavery, which I got this article pulled up, or this history pulled up, Salakia, through Google. It's called "Children of the Plantation," as it was called, and it goes into the fact of how Esau would sow seed among Jake during the hardcore of this current captivity. The hardcore part of it. So let's get into it. It says, "Children of the plantation" was a euphemism used during the time of slavery in the United States, which slavery in the United States is continuing on in many, many ways, all right? Almost every way you could think of, the mass incarceration system is just one to name of many. It says, "Children of the plantation" was a euphemism used during the time of slavery in the United States to identify the offspring born to black female slaves and white men. See, Jake women, Israelite women, and Edomite men. All right. It says usually the slave's owner, one of the owner's relatives, or the plantation overseer. So basically, this is what the Edomites would do to the Israelite women, all right, during this time, and they would enjoy, their way or having their way with women, all right, of Israel when they had them on the plantation, all right, whether it was the slave owner, overseer, relatives, all right. It says rape. It says rape of female slaves was common on plantations. These children were born into slavery through a legal doctrine known as partus sequitur ventrum. And when you get into that, it goes into, how a lot of time, these children was given a a little ease, as opposed to the children that were born from a man of Israel. All right. So by them having Edomite fathers, they would have certain things they could do, versus the children that was born not only having the Israelite mother but also an Israelite father, which they were just straight up slaves, and they got the worst of the worst. But if you was a child of a slave owner, you had it a little easy, so to speak. All right, it says they were classified as mulattoes, a former term for a multiracial person, which they come from the Dark Ages, and going into the Renaissance period, when a lot of men of Israel were having babies with Edomite women. It says they were classified as mulattoes, a former term for a multiracial person. The one-drop rule meant that they could never be part of white society, which is really Edomite society, all right? That's a made-up term, all right? White, you're not white, you're red, all right? It says some of the fathers treated these children well, sometimes providing educational or career opportunities, or manumitting, freeing them. Examples are Archibald and Francis Grimke and Thomas Jefferson's Children by Sally Hemings. Others treated their multiracial children as property. Alexander Scott Withers, for instance, sold two of his children to slave traders where they were sold again. So, that shows you that Esau, all right, he's just a vile person, man. He just really a wicked person, all right. He's known as the wicked in the scriptures, and even, excuse me, even doing even the wicked things to his own seed. All right, let's get Habakkuk real quick. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him," and that's Esau, man. He's not upright, man. All right, the spirit within him is wicked, man. He's known as the wicked in the Bible. He was, he was the wicked from the beginning. All right, because you go into the spirit that's within the so-called white man. It goes back to the serpent in the garden. It goes back to Cain, and then he came back as Esau as well. All right, that same spirit is within this man. All right, so let's go over to an article with an example I have of a notable tear. This is Frederick Douglass. It says Frederick Douglass was born in slavery to a black mother, all right, so-called black, right, and a white father, so-called white, all right. So this is an example of a tear, and to many, people think that he's they say black or Negro, or they say the term African American, which is all made up terms, but they'll think that, or they Esau portray him as though he's a Israelite, but this is a straight up tear. All right, even when I was growing up in Esau's education system, elementary, you learn about Frederick Douglass, but I never knew that Frederick Douglass' father was an Edomite. All right, I never knew that. All right, until I learned this knowledge. So his mother was a slave. All right, so because they had this one drop rule, all right, in the Constitution, that one drop rule. All right, he was portrayed as he was like he was an Israelite, but he really was an Edomite, and pretty much, he's one of the ones that was put into a position of ease. They say he was an abolitionist and all that stuff. Well, he became all those things, due to his mother being a slave. All right, but yet and still, he's still an Edomite. All right, no matter how dark he may be, no matter if he have a son, all right, by a Israelite woman, all right, that seed still go back to him, and he still go back to his father, which I believe this is a picture of his so-called father. All right, so that's look at this devil, man. But that's how bloodline works. All right, through your fathers. All right, let's get that real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna go into the tears and wheat, which is told by our Lord Yahweh Shai. Let's go to Numbers 1 and 18. It says, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their poles." Because you go into the pedigree, all right, the pedigree goes into the bloodline, all right, or genealogy or lineage. All right, when you look up pedigree, all right, and I had some typed up, all right, but I didn't read it yet. I'm going to get it though, because that's a good example of a tear. So this is pedigree. See, it says genealogical table or chart. It says let's see, on old manuscripts, descent was indicated by a uh, forked sign resembling the branching lines of a genealogical chart. So basically, your genealogy, your bloodline. It says pedigree for definitions. It says the descendants of one individual. It says lineage, line of descent, bloodline, blood, ancestry, origin. See, parentage, stemma, stock. All right, so he's the stock. All right, of an Edomite. It says line of descent of a purebred animal, ancestry of a purebred animal, having a list of ancestors as proof of being a purebred animal. You know, a lot of people keep the line pure through keeping, the father and the mother of the same stock or bloodline. But the point is, he's the stock or bloodline of Esau, Edom. All right, so let's get back to the scriptures. And this is why we make the point that we bring out the fact that the Lord said his heritage unto him is as a speckled bird, which is a bird that speckled is a bird of several colors or many colors. And we let you know that every Israelite ain't gonna look like a typical or so-called normal looking Israelite. It's not all about color, though the Bible have a very descriptive color. All right, you have to go by one's lineage, man, genealogy. But then even doing so, we don't know. All right, we don't know. All right, because we're still in this flesh. All right, but the Most High know. All right, His Son know. The angels know. All right, so let's get that. Let's go right to it. Matthew 13. All right, we're gonna scroll down to the point. All right, let's go down here. Matthew 13, starting at verse 24. And again, this is Yahweh Shai speaking, man. It says, another parable put he forth unto them, and this is to the disciples. Keep that in mind. Excuse me. So as he was teaching his disciples, this is what he was teaching them. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Yeah, I had an example of tare up. Let's get that. Let's go back to the online etymology. See what tare is. All right. Let's get that tare. All right. It says tare. It says perhaps. Hold on. So it says kind of fodder plant. It says perhaps cognate with or from Middle Dutch tarwe or wheat. It says a kind of millet grass. Okay, it says hence figurative use for something noxious sown among something good, and that's that's because what does noxious mean? By the way, let's get that. I don't want to missay it, right? It says noxious, unwholesome, harmful, hurtful, injurious, damage entailing liability. Let's see. All right. So basically, it gives. Let's see. It don't give a clear definition. Let's see what Google says. Harmful, poisonous, or very unpleasant. There we go. That makes more sense. All right, poisonous, toxic, deadly, virulent. So, you got this poisonous or toxic seed among Jake. All right, that look like Jake. All right, and the outward appearance may look like Jake, but the inward is Edomite. All right, because it's the seed or lineage or bloodline of Edomite. So back to Matthew 13 and 24. 25. I'm sorry. It says, but while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Yeah, poisonous seed. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then had it tares? He said unto them, an enemy had done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. Yeah, so even myself, and I'm sure you Akim out there as well. We don't too much concern ourselves with trying to know the very detail, because like I said, we don't know with certainty. All right, if a person's a tare, we through the spirit, we can make a humble observance of a person, or trace one's genealogy, but that's it. We still could be wrong. Like I said, but the angels is not going to be wrong, right? Because it's going to say this. It says, let them both grow together until the harvest. In the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, right? Who are the reapers? All right, the angels, man. All right, it says, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn, which a barn is a storing house, right? You preserve, all right, different things that's grown in the field, all right, in the barn house. All right. Now, pretty much, you better jump down here to verse 37, because it breaks it. Well, Yahweh Shah breaks it down. All right, because like I said, the tares and wheat are together, especially in America, man. You have so many tares among our people, it's not even funny. All right. And it's just to know that alone, is something to take in. All right. Verse 37, he answered and said to them, he that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man, which is Yahushua. The field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom. Yeah, who are the children of the kingdom? The Israelites. All right. Because who is the Lord coming to gather? All right, Matthew 24, he's coming to gather the elect, which the elect is the elect men. All right, because the elect is the 144,000, 12,000 men of each tribe, and then the rest of the 1/3, which a total of 1/3 of the nation of Israel are going to be saved, but the elect come out of that 1/3. All right, because that's whom the Lord is coming to deliver. All right, and they're all Israelites, man. All right, they're all Israelites. None of them are any other nation. All right, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. Well, who is the wicked? Malachi 1-4, Esau, Edom. All right, clearly tells you that he's the border of wickedness, man. He is known as the wicked. All right, verse 39, the enemy that sowed them is the devil. Yeah, the Edomites, man. All right, so-called white men. All right, just like I was reading in the history of the children of the plantation, and then also Frederick Douglass. All right, it says the enemy that sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, which we're in the end of the world. All right, and we're gonna be the very end when Yahweh Shah come back. But the tares, I'm sorry, it says, the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. See, the angels, they know. Right? They know exactly who is who, and they're going to cut them tares down. All right, no tear going to make it, on board those ships when they come. All right, which are the chariots, just like you see in the movie Noah, and this Cain made it on there. All right, no, hell no, that's not going to happen. Well, man, that's fairy tale, man. It says, Salaki, my phone went dark. It says, continuing on, it says, the enemy that sold them is the devil, the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. And it says, as therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. See? See what I'm saying? And that's how it's going to be, man. All right? When you see our Lord coming, he's going to gather the elect, all right, which are the weak. And then the tares, the seed of the wicked one, Esau, Edom, all right, they're going to be cut down. Before I close, I'm going to grab this precept real quick. Let's go to the book of Psalms. Ain't no Edomite going to make it, man, on that chariot. All right, Psalms 37 and verse 28, it says, for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints. The saints are Israelites, man. All right, not everyone's a saint. It says, they are preserved forever. Yeah, pretty much, we're put into the Lord's barn house. All right, we're the wheat. All right, it says, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. Yeah, you Edomites, man. You're going to be cut off. That's it for you, man. All right, you're not going to make it on those chariots. And then in the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be slaves. Just like we were your slaves, man. And we still are your slaves to this day. All right, so I'm going to end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And until the next time, I'm going to say shalom.